it's Anita, and I'm back in the greenhouse with another video for you. Today I was going to talk about seeds. So many people have asked questions about seeds and how we do the seeds and how we can do them so quickly. I think that we might have given you a little false hope there that it can be done really quickly, because it does take us hours and hours and hours to get all of our stuff seeded for the year. So I was going to just show you a couple different methods that I know of and show you what I find easiest. So first I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you some different kinds of seeds. Depending on what you're going to grow, the seeds can be very different. Some seeds, like herb seeds, kind of like, I'm trying to think of one, oregano, look almost like dust. And you don't even really realize that you have seeds, and then you have this like huge amount that you've planted, and all these little tiny plants come up, and you really only needed to plant one. Most of the time when seeds are that tiny though, it's better to plant them in a clump anyway, because like oregano, you want the plant to come up a lot at a time and not just one little straggly oregano stem. So here's some seeds I'm working on right now. This one right here is kind of a medium size. This is pink because it is coated with some fertilizer and some fungicide to keep it safe, and so it promotes a higher propagation rate. Propagation means the amount of seeds that come up that actually turn into a plant. So if your propagation rate is only like 90%, that means out of every 100 plants you planted, 10 of those seeds didn't come up and make a plant out of it. Now this one is a small one. That is for collard greens. So that's a little harder to plant because it's so tiny. Then this is a nice big one, and that's for a zucchini squash. So we've tried a lot of methods here at the farm for planting. We've tried a lot of methods here at the farm for planting seeds. At one time, everybody had one of these, and the concept behind this was you would put the seeds in this little trough. Almost knocked down one of the seeds. And this little clicker, you would click it and it would make the seeds jump down the trowel. Let's see if I can do it right in the camera. The concept is you would hold it at an angle and you would click this little clicker button here, and that would make the seeds jump down to the end where it has a little like a little gully, and it has ridges to keep one seed at a time. Oh, there's one. There's two went out that time. There's one. There's two that time. I never thought this was like a great method, so we got rid of those. So then someone had shown me the paper method. You fold a piece of paper in half and you put your seeds, I'm going to use the same ones I used earlier, in the piece of paper. So now you have something like this. And then what you do is you take a pen or a pencil or any pointed object, and you pull the seeds out one by one with the pen. Well, it works okay about 90% of the time. There are more than one seed in a spot. So both of these methods, while they might work for some people, to me, they just took more time than they really needed to. So what I do is I put the seeds into my hand. So I have a handful of seed. And then it's nice to have a nice pointy fingernail. And then I just take them in my fingers and I drop 1, 2, 3. Then I pick up more, 1, 2. Each of my holes now only has one seed in it. So without having any extra paperwork or a little special tool to do it, I have actually more accuracy than they did. And I'll show you. So I can show you, like each of mine have one seed in each hole. So you might ask, well, what's the benefit of putting one seed in each hole? What's the big deal if you have more than one? When you have this many plants that you need to put out in the field, once these plants get big enough, they're going to get bumped up into another container, and then they'll go out into the field. So when we're pulling these plants out of here, if it's more than one seed in a hole, you're sitting there pulling apart little tiny roots, and they're very young roots, which means that they're not as strong as they would be if they were older. So when you're trying to pull them apart, a lot of times you're going to lose one. So it doesn't seem like a big deal when you're only growing 12 tomato plants and you lose like 4. You still have 8 tomato plants left. But when we're growing thousands of tomato plants, if we're losing like 4% of 1,000, we're losing like 40 plants. So you just want to always make sure that you're getting the best result you can for the money, because seed is not cheap. When you buy a lot of seed like we do, our seed bill runs at least $1,000 or more a year. So I'm going to finish this tray. This is collard greens. Then I'm going to show you, we're trying a different method this year for our hot peppers. So I'm going to go in the house and do them in there because I was reading up on it, and it's something new we're going to try because we don't get really good propagation in the greenhouse with the peppers. I'm not talking about like bell peppers or jalapenos. I'm talking like the super hots, like ghost or scorpions or reapers. So we're going to do those differently in the house, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so here I am. I'm in the house to do the hot pepper seeds. The reason I'm going to do these differently is that hot pepper seeds are super expensive. This little package of ghost peppers, this is chocolate ghosts, was $8. And when I open it, there's not going to be a whole lot of seed in here. Let's see how many is in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 seed for $8. Now, other pepper seeds we buy, like these are bell peppers, this was $4, and as you can see, I get 100 seeds. So the hot peppers are so much more expensive that I'm going to try a little different method this year. We buy all of our super hot peppers from pepperjoes.com. Shout out to Pepper Joe if you want to go check out some hot pepper seeds. He suggests that you take a paper towel and a squirt bottle. Spray down your paper towel. If your squirt bottle works. There it goes. Just dampen it, he says. Not soak, just dampen. And sprinkle your seeds on that paper towel. Then take a zipper bag. These are just grocery store zipper bags. I put the name of each pepper on each bag so that I don't get messed up. I have giant ghosts, regular ghosts. These are chocolate ghosts. I have anchos. I have reapers. So I have a bag for each kind. His suggestion is to make a mini greenhouse for each thing of hot peppers you have. So I'm going to take the paper towel, sit it in the bag, don't take all the air out, and seal it. Now each pepper has its own little each type of pepper has its own little greenhouse, and we'll be able to see when the seeds start sprouting. The reason I think that this is going to work better, which it might not, and we're going to check back later and see, but the reason I think it's going to work better is that seeds need a lot of heat to pop open. The greenhouse is good because it gets real warm during the day, and then it cools down at night, and then it's warm during the day and cools down at night. It never goes below 70 degrees, but it has a lot of spikes. So what I'm going to do with these is leave them in the house right next to my heater. I have radiant heating, which goes all around my house. So I'm going to leave these bags right here by the table in the kitchen because the radiant heat is right under this stool. And we'll check back in a couple days. I wanted to say, I started this video on Friday. I was working in the greenhouse, as you saw, just previous to this little section. And I got a migraine. I don't know if anyone suffers from migraines, but I've had a cold horribly this year. Ever since New Year's, I get sick, and then I get better, and then I get sick, and then I get better. And it seems that now I'm getting migraines with this. So I really apologize for this video taking so long. I know Nancy did Shout Out Saturday by herself, and I really thank everyone for the well wishes, and everyone told me to get well. And I'm trying. I have a doctor's appointment actually tomorrow, but we're supposed to have a snowstorm, and I probably won't be able to go. And then I have another doctor's appointment next Monday. I did hit my head over the summer, and I had a concussion. I don't know if these headaches have something to do with that, but we're going to get it figured out because I really got to get to work. So here's the end of the video that I shot on Friday. Thanks a lot for all your well wishes. This is always a really fun time in the greenhouse when you start to see all of the plants coming up that you've seeded. See if we can find you like one that's just emerging. I just saw one when I was watering. Like right here. This little guy right there just popped up out of the soil. So all of these that we're looking at right now are tomato plants. You can see we have really, really good propagation on all the big beef and the celebrity. The Ruckers are still coming up. You can see there's one right there. It's just popping through. So I have high hopes for their propagation to be good too. This side of the greenhouse is our pepper side. This is a colored bell pepper, and here's some hot peppers. These guys are just popping up too. So all these are peppers on this side. So I hope you learned something about seeding today. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If you have any suggestions for me, same thing, put them down in the comments. Thanks for watching and have a great day.